Hey y'all, it's Chris with Rockin Farm, and today we're talking hot peppers. Yeah, I said hot peppers as I stand here in the snow, and yes, I do still live in Central Texas. Obviously, this is something that's a little weird for us. I'm out here doing chores in 5 degrees, but today we're talking peppers. Please take the time to hit the subscribe button, click that little notification bell, and go visit our website, rockin8farm.com. Now, the reason that we are talking peppers is because if you live in the South, you should have already started your peppers indoors, or you should be starting your peppers indoors really soon. Our motto towards our outdoor garden is seed indoors on Valentine's Day, plant in the garden on April Fool's Day. And the reason we do April Fool's Day is because even though our average last frost is like the middle of March, it seems like there's just always one that sneaks in there, especially if it's been a winter like this one here. One of the jokes here in Texas is you can always tell who's not from here because you see them going over to the big box store to pick up all their flowers and tomatoes and peppers on like March 1st because it's like 85 degrees and sunny, but I can almost guarantee you we're gonna get hit one more time. So anyhow, it's time to be starting tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants indoors. Last week I did a video on some of my top picks for tomatoes. Today's video is some of my top picks for peppers. So I think one of the first things worth mentioning is why people grow peppers and what types of peppers people grow. You can grow peppers for all different kinds of reasons, and there are a ton of really cute ornamental type peppers. There's a whole bunch of different flavors. There's a whole bunch of different varieties. And you can definitely grow a ridiculous number of peppers just for specific characteristics, like I like the color peach. Our pepper growing here on our farm has a very practical purpose. It's peppers that we always use in our dining, or peppers that we know we can sell in a market type setting. I would like to have more fun with peppers, but I don't have the room in my current garden for that because there's the peppers that I need to grow. So we'll start off with the pepper everybody thinks of when you say the word pepper, the jalapeno. We actually grow 3 different varieties of jalapenos here on our farm, and they do really well here in Central Texas. Now, last year we had an abundant year for jalapenos, but our jalapenos never got super duper hot, and they also never got super duper big, and that was my fault. Jalapenos do like a little bit of fertilizer throughout the year, and I was really bad about my fertilization schedule. But if you can stay on top of throwing a little organic fertilizer on top of your wood chips and watering it in throughout the jalapenos growing cycle, you can really increase the yield and the size of your various pepper varieties, but jalapenos especially. So one of the pepper varieties that we like to grow here is just this grande jalapeno, or Craig's grande jalapeno as they call it at Baker Creek. Gives you a nice big jalapeno. The heat variety is usually pretty good. There's all kinds of old wives' tales about how you make a jalapeno hotter. Some people say deny them water, put the plant under stress. I've even heard some people say you got to grab that jalapeno shrub and just shake the crap out of it. I don't know if any of that's true. Generally speaking, we have nice spicy jalapenos here on our farm. I think it has a lot more to do with soil quality. The stress factor, there might be some truth to that. Another pepper we like to grow is Tam jalapeno pepper. And the reason we like to grow this one specifically is because we make a product known as jalapeno jelly. And Tam jalapenos have a tendency to go into the red phase very quickly. By the time they turn into a decent sized fruit, they're pretty much already turning red. So why would I want a jalapeno that turns red so quick? Because when you're using jalapenos and jalapeno jelly, red jelly is a lot prettier than green jelly. And the third jalapeno variety that we grow is this one. That's all I can call it, is this one. It's a seed that we saved out of some jalapenos that did really well for us one year, but I have no idea what variety those jalapenos were. I don't know if they were hybrids. I don't know if they were, heirlooms. I really don't know. I don't know if they were cross-pollinated with other jalapenos. I just know that these germinate reliably every year and give us fruit every year. So I like those genetics. You guys know I like a plant that I can count on. Now our next must grow for Texas is the poblano pepper. And this year we're gonna try growing 2 different varieties from 2 different seed manufacturers. Last year I got a ton of fruit, but they were all kind of stubby. Now, no poblano is gonna go to waste when it comes to cooking in my household. So all the little short ones, we just dried them out and turned them into what is known as an ancho chili pepper. So in case people didn't know that, a lot of peppers will have different names dependent upon whether they're a fresh pepper or a dried pepper. So the poblano pepper, once it's in its dried state, is known as the ancho chili pepper. So we dried out all those little poblanos, crushed them up into powder, used them to make enchilada sauce. So nothing went to waste, but I want those nice big poblano peppers that my wife can stuff full of cheese and then dip in egg batter and then fry for me. Yes, I am a huge fan of the chili relleno. So along with this poblano pepper from Baker Creek, we're gonna try planting a different variety of poblano pepper from Haas Tools as well. I figure 2 is 1, 1 is none, so I'll try growing 2 different varieties, see which one does better for me, and then I know which variety I can grow going forward. Big boys. Now, we have grown some peppers in the past that were for specific reasons for a short period of time. Last year, we grew Carolina Reapers. The name says it all. These peppers are hot. And we grew these Carolina Reapers for the specific purpose of making an unbelievably hot salsa. You see, people here in Texas, they basically have the attitude that if it leaves taste buds living on your tongue, and if it doesn't burn going in and out, it's not good food. Being a Hispanic family from Arizona, we beg to differ, but you got to market to the clientele. Last year, we got enough Carolina Reapers off of our bushes to last us a couple of years, so we're not going to be wasting space in our garden with Carolina Reapers this year. But we will be going back to an old favorite, and that is the serrano pepper. As far as heat goes, poblanos can pack a spice. Jalapenos, generally hotter than poblanos. Serranos, kind of a step up from jalapenos. So it gives us that little more heat without going too intense. In my opinion, serranos, they have a very jalapeno-ish flavor, but they've got that step up in heat. Now, the last pepper that we're going to grow, this is another one of those 2 different names, whether it's dried or not. The package here says guajillo pepper. Guajillo is actually the name for it in its dried state. This is also known as the mirasol chili pepper. They call it mirasol because the fruit grows in an upward motion like it's pointing towards the sun. So when you take a mirasol chili pepper and dry it out, you get a guajillo. And guajillo peppers are something that we use in our cooking a lot. To not have to go to the store and buy pounds of this would be an absolute game changer for us. So we've never grown mirasol chili peppers in our gardens before, but we're definitely going to give them a go because you should grow what you eat and eat what you grow. Now, I know my buddy Jack over at the Mindful Homestead and my buddy Jeremy up at Living the Dream Off Grid. We're talking Idaho and New Hampshire here, people. They're going to have something to say about my next comment, but I don't care. I am a Southern boy. I am not acclimated to this kind of cold, so I need to get inside. But there's still one pepper that we need to talk about. An absolute must grow in my garden every single solitary year is the Cubanelle pepper. Now, this isn't a hot pepper. It would be considered a sweet pepper. But I'm telling y'all, if I could only grow one pepper, this would be it. What I like about the Cubanelle, it does well here. I grew it in buckets last year, and it did amazing for me. I'm putting it in the beds this year and seeing if I can do even better. It goes through different phases as it grows, just like all peppers do. Green, and then kind of an orangey yellow, and then red. It is Edible at all 3 phases, but takes on different characteristics at each phase that I really enjoy. Letting it go all the way to its red stage, we made a sauce that you can mix in with various types of meat and simmer them over long periods of time to get them tender. This sauce was to die for, y'all, and it was Cubanelle pepper, onion, garlic pretty much. And it was amazing. The flavor was incredible. In the green phase, they make an amazing frying pepper. So whether you want to chop them up into little strips, hit them in a quick stir fry, whether you want to stuff them and deep fry them, it doesn't really matter. In the green phase, they're awesome for frying. Now at the yellow phase, I think they're great for pickling at that particular phase, but I also like to cut them up and put slivers of them in my salads when they're in the yellow phase. Now, as much as I love all of my peppers, if I could only grow one, if I had my hands cuffed behind my back and they said the only way you're getting out of this is to choose one pepper, it would be the Cubanelle. Tough choice between that and poblanos, but I think the Cubanelle actually kind of wins, y'all. The bottom line is grow whatever works for you. Take my little adage of grow what you eat and eat what you grow to heart, and make sure you get those peppers in the ground for yourself. But if you've got the room in your garden, have a little bit of fun. There's all kinds of really cool pepper variants out there, and you don't know if they grow until you try. If you've got any comments or questions, make sure you drop them down in the comment section. I'd love to answer all of your questions for you. And until I see y'all again, this has been Chris with Rockin Farm, and I want you all to be happy and live healthy.